Eigenlayer's been in the news lately with a lot of hype and disappointment regarding their first airdrop. However, during our investigative research, we found a lot of articles that used the word delve, tons of doublespeak, and 6-syllable tech words, and even conflicting info between what the founder said compared to what the docs said. All the smooth brain investors are saying you just stake your tokens and then receive a big ol' airdrop. But what's actually happening behind the scenes? Is this a complicated scam? Welcome to Whiteboard Crypto, the #1 YouTube channel for crypto education. And here we explain topics of the cryptocurrency world using analogies, stories, and examples so you can easily understand them. This video isn't sponsored, so you'll get the full truth. In this video, I'll explain what Eigenlayer is, how it works, and what the Eigen token does, along with some drama regarding their first airdrop. We'll get into the drama a bit later, but first, to understand how Eigenlayer works, we need a quick recap of how ETH staking works. Ethereum's blockchain recently changed from proof of work to proof of stake, meaning the method of adding new blocks to the blockchain was altered. Now, to add a new block to the chain, you need to be a validator. A validator is simply a person who has a reliable computer who has locked up 32 Ethereum into the network. You need a reliable computer because if it goes down, other computers in the network can't rely on it, so a good internet connection and power source are needed. Secondly, you need 32 Ethereum to lock up, so that if you misbehave, something can be taken from you. This act of taking some of your stake tokens for misbehaving is called slashing. There are hundreds of thousands of these ETH validators around the world, all checking each other's work and adding new blocks to the chain, with the goal of earning a bit of new ETH each time they behave. Now here's where Eigenlayer comes in. There's almost $100 billion currently locked up in the ETH network. To collude and start misbehaving in the ETH network, you would need to stake half of that value, which is still a ton of money. However, there are a lot of other blockchains, networks, and services out there which get their security in the same way, but they don't have $10 billion. They might only have $1 million, which would make the network much easier to attack. Eigenlayer says, what if we had those ETH validators, which are reliable computers with funds deposited, also secure another network while they're at it? They're already set up with reliable internet and power, and they already have a decent chunk of money to lock up. They might as well secure, say, the Chainlink network too, and maybe the Avalanche blockchain, and maybe even a crypto bridge. Then why stop there? If we have this network of trusted computers with a financial incentive to behave, we might as well just add 20 or 50 other services for them to reliably validate and trust. That's what Eigenlayer does, except to be specific, it doesn't use Ethereum's validators. Eigenlayer has their own network of validators called operators. The idea is that it's much harder to attack one huge network than many smaller networks operating separately. And yes, this is kinda a point of centralization if you're wondering, but it's counterintuitive because to control the centralized point, you must have billions of dollars of funds, or find a hole in code that's being used to control billions of dollars of funds. If you're a new blockchain or bridge or Oracle service, or you need some data checked or logged or saved or computed, you can pay a fee to Eigenlayer, and their pool of computers across the world will do what you want. This is the idea of Eigenlayer. We commonly see it called restaking, but this is actually incorrect. The founder, Sriram, encourages the use of the phrase programmable staking. If you're only interested in staking and earning rewards, and not running your own validator computer, you can just stake your funds once into the Eigen network. Someone with a reliable computer, called an operator, will perform computation on your behalf to earn staking rewards. During the staking process, you select which chain or bridge or other services you want to stake your funds with. These different services are called actively validated services, or AVSs in short, and it's the main income-producing method for Eigen and its stakers or validators. One problem for this is that right now, Eigenlayer only has 14 AVSs. The cost or payment to Eigenlayer network to create and use the AVS network also isn't super cheap at the moment. Speaking of not being super clear, almost the entirety of this project isn't clear. Their docs are pretty short and don't dive into the weeds, and their white paper uses a lot of complicated words and math. Understanding the project wasn't easy, nor was writing this script. I guess now is the time to get into some of the drama surrounding the historical part of this project. In early 2024, it was well known that you could deposit your funds to stake in Eigenlayer for points. These points had no dollar value, and the staking was essentially speculation, with many people expecting a decent return in the future based on Eigenlayer's huge amount of total funds locked up and their publicity. However, when the airdrop rewards for Season 1 were announced, not only did users realize they couldn't immediately use their tokens when they claimed them, Eigenlayer also restricted who could claim their airdrops. It doesn't matter if you staked $10 or $10 million. If you were based in a country they blacklisted, quote, for legal reasons, you had no tokens to claim. They even blocked VPN usage, which is a common way for other dApps and crypto services to have plausible deniability while allowing users to use a VPN to skirt around local regulations in the spirit of true crypto principles. The big deal here is that they restricted the airdrop geographically, even if you staked millions of dollars. Another thing that bothers a lot of Eigen participants is that the airdrop is only a very small part of the tokens. Only 15% of all the tokens are used for this airdrop, plus future airdrops. That kind of whispers that the community's airdrops could easily be taken away by early investors who get 29.5% and early contributors who got 25.5%. Now let's get into the Eigen token. You know how slashing works now, where if someone does something objectively bad that is verifiable on-chain, they can lose some or all of their staked ETH. But what if they do something objectively bad that is not verifiable on-chain? An example of this could be updating an oracle with price information that is inaccurate. An oracle, as a quick reminder, is a way to bring off-chain data on-chain, as a blockchain can't access information that doesn't exist on it. Maybe an oracle says the San Francisco 49ers won a Super Bowl when the Kansas City Chiefs actually did. How would an ecosystem deal with this problem? While ETH staking has slashing based on objective, on-chain verifiable data, the Eigen token, when staked, enables a social consensus slashing model for off-chain fault. Eigen slashing works through forking the token, which is kinda a new idea. You're probably familiar with the term forking, which is when a blockchain separates into two different chains, one of which is recognized as the true fork, and it's usually done if there's a serious upgrade to the chain or if there's some dispute about consensus that can't be resolved. But how does a token fork? Wouldn't it be complicated for the holders or users of the token to have to figure out which token is the active one? Actually, no. At least, not all users need to be aware. Eigen achieves this based on a two-token model, where the Eigen that is staked is the one that can be forked, and an Eigen that is used in non-staking situations, such as DeFi, doesn't need to be aware of the forks. As a side note, you might be wondering why not all Eigen can be used as a staked token. That's because Eigen needs to be used in DeFi for trading purposes. If you want to purchase Eigen, you need to have somewhere that swaps something like ETH for Eigen, and that place is DeFi. So basically, only the people who are heavily involved in the ecosystem already and are staking Eigen will need to know it forked and act accordingly, which is a pretty interesting way for a token to fork in our opinion. As with almost every airdrop, the people farming it aren't the people who actually want to use it. They just want to get the token to sell to earn in BTC or ETH or USD, so keep that in mind. Something I've seen Eigenlayer say a lot is that they use Ethereum security, but this is technically a marketing issue as Ethereum security is provided by native stakers and validators, but Eigenlayer uses their own stakers and has the option to stake other funds than just ETH. So the more technically correct thing to say would be that they're being secured in the same way that Ethereum is, with a large amount of funds. Another thing worth mentioning, the Contact Us link on their foundation website goes to an email that bounces, meaning we weren't actually able to contact the foundation about them reviewing our script, which is something that's quite helpful in producing these videos. Their app website doesn't have a contact link. In their public Discord, most users were interested in claiming their airdrop, not asking protocol-specific questions, and the mod that answered our questions to help us gave a support ticket link. Finally, other than their docs page, the next most useful resource was an X-user with the name Manan. I should also point out that right now you can only stake ETH and ETH-derived liquid staking tokens. Right now they have 12 other tokens you can stake too, but theoretically they could also stake USDT or DAI or wrapped BTC in the future, with the downside being more risk to the platform. Lastly, Eigenlayer imposes an escrow period to withdraw your staked funds to prevent someone from misbehaving and then immediately removing their funds. So once you unstake, you have to wait 7 days for your funds to be liquid again. All of these points considered, Eigenlayer is a very interesting solution to a unique problem, and they raised a ton of funds during the points farming period. It'll be interesting to see if this project stands the test of time and is around in 5 or 8 years, especially with their unique airdrop method and communication surrounding it. Anyway, thanks for watching. We really hope you enjoyed it, and we hope you learned something. See you in our next video.